Jabari Brisport is probably one of the most prominent elected DSA members in New York. As it says here, he's a New York State Senator in District 25. And again, as far as like DSA elected officials in New York goes, he's probably one of the most influential, one of the biggest names. And we've actually had Jabari on the show. We had him on before he actually was elected, and he's a really good activist, a very serious person. And he was blocked actually by Nomiki Konst, who of course is also running in New York, and she's running against the DSA-backed candidate Kristen Gonzalez. So let's see why this happened. What led to Jabari, who again is nothing but a respected and very serious activist within the DSA New York City left. What led to him being blocked by Nomiki Konst, who you think would be totally in alignment with his ideology and his goals, etc. Here he says, well, let's start with this. Nomiki posts this clip here, a new ad for her campaign. It says over 3,000 community members signed a petition last week. It's official. We're on the ballot for New York State Senate to represent this new district. Our neighbors asked us to run because I fought for change locally, in Albany, and nationally, and have the experience to deliver progress. And as you can see here, there's a lot of clips going by. You got Cori Bush, you got Steve Donziger, who actually has endorsed Nomiki Konst, which I find a little bit befuddling, but that is what it is. So basically, she's mixing in here clips of people that have endorsed her with other people who have not. For example, Zephyr Teachout, for example, AOC, who pops up at one point in this video. And as Jabari points out in her replies here, he points out, nice clip. You should clarify that some people in the video, like AOC and Cynthia Nixon, have actually endorsed Kristen Gonzalez in your race. And Kristen Gonzalez is the aforementioned DSA candidate, which previous to Nomiki's entrance into this race had basically united the whole kind of institutional New York City left behind her. A casual viewer may mistakenly see them in this video and think they are supporting your run when they are not. Happy campaigning. So he's basically pointing out that, this ad is, the way it's edited is a little bit dishonest. You're including clips of people in there like AOC and Cynthia Nixon who have actually endorsed your opponent, the person you're running against, and who you're going to be taking votes away from, which ultimately the fear is could lead to the vote being split and the corporate candidate, Joe Crowley's niece, getting elected.
Yeah, fucking crazy. I think it might actually be Joe Crowley's cousin, I read, but either way, it's kind of irrelevant. But yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. They have the same politics. It's going to be neoliberal corporatism if we don't get a DSA kind of style candidate in here. And we've talked ad nauseum about how Nomiki's entire political commentary which she is using as being like her credentials for fucking running for office. Her actions are diametrically opposed to the advice and the commentary that she has given in the past, right? She is essentially running what she would argue a spoiler campaign. She is less popular. She has raised less money. She has fewer endorsements, and she is, less involved on the ground in the district, right? So much so that two people who are on the that were on air with her when she made her announcement had to come out the very next day and say, "I do not endorse you because of what you are doing," and the fact that we all support the DSA. They already made this decision, and now you want to try and run your third way, which you have every right to do, but none of us are going to support you in doing that. I thought it was hilarious that Jabari instantly ratioed the fuck out of her. She got 140 favorites on this campaign video that she launched, and immediately Jabari, even though he's now blocked from her, immediately puts up the numbers. I just don't think that people who are serious leftists, for the most part, with exceptions, right? It's not like I'm taking a shot at Steve Donziger, right? Obviously, the dude is a fucking real leftist. I'm just saying, I think he got duped in this one. I don't agree with his decision to endorse Nomiki. I think it probably had something to do with the fact that they might have a personal relationship, etc. That's fine. But that being said, like, obviously she has the right to run. I just think that she's evidencing all of her poor talking points by doing so, and how hypocritical she is.
Yeah, extremely hypocritical. And yeah, she does have the right to run. But I think that in another tweet, Jabari actually makes a really good point about Nomiki. And this was before he got blocked. It says, it's not lost on me that Nomiki Konst decided to launch her own campaign rather than bring ideas to the Gonzalez campaign like so many others have. This raises concerns for me regarding her desire to collaborate with others if elected or to support existing fights. he says her reason for running would be akin to introducing her own competing version of the New York Health Act because she thought the current bill was missing something. This is not how we win as a movement. And, again, obviously, Zach and I have criticisms of the DSA, but I think what they have been pretty successful of is kind of creating this united front in the New York City, New York State, local area legislature. I think they've done a really good job of, running slates of candidates that support slates of issues, getting behind these ideas and organizing as a block, which is what the squad does not do, in order to actually get their priorities passed or at least prioritized. So, I think this is important that he's pointing this out. And again, it's not just people like Zach and I that are fucking haters, pointing out all these issues with Nomiki Konst and her strategy here. It's actually a lot of people like Jabari Brisport that are really involved in the institutional left in New York, in the DSA, people that otherwise would be nothing but allies to Nomiki. These are not people that are coming at this from like a, I fucking hate Sam Seder kind of perspective or whatever, like fuck the majority report. Like that's not what these people are about. These are the kind of people that in any other instance would be, 100% allied with Nomiki Konst. But again, they aren't having it, guys. They're like, what the fuck are you doing? This is an egomaniacal vanity quest that very likely could cost us this election. It's going to be extremely close. And if the vote is split, as it has been many, many times across this country, when, 2 or 3 or 4 lefties all running on the same platform get involved in a race, it does split the vote and it does lead to the election of a corporatist. In this case, the Crowley.
Yeah, 100%. I think the only thing that we have to hang our hat on is the fact that the last time Nomiki ran for office, she was barely able to pull in 1,000 votes. Not that 1,000 votes don't matter, but fortunately, I'm just hoping that she's not able to successfully rip this one away from the DSA. And I've seen some people in the chat that are like, oh, why are you guys simping for sellout DSA people? I'm like, if you look at Kristen Gonzalez, that woman is on the ground in fucking New York. She's running for the New York State Legislature. Okay, this is not a fucking sexy position. She's very well known in her community, and it is obnoxiously dumb to just be like, we should sit out this entire fucking election and just let a corporatist win than somebody who agrees with us on 95% of the issues.
Yeah, and Gonzalez is not, it's not like she's just endorsed by AOC and propped up by the squad or whatever. No, she's actually endorsed and supported by a ton of serious activists on the ground in New York City, a lot of really serious organizers, activists, people that I trust, frankly, a lot more than AOC, people like Jabari Brisport, people like Zohran Mandami, who's about as real as it fucking gets when it comes to elected leftist officials in this country. So, that's why I am a supporter of Gonzalez. Not that I even live in the district, but it definitely seems like she's in this for much more serious reasons than Nomiki, who I have to say I suspect is in it more for reasons of vanity and furthering her own career. So that's just my analysis of the situation. I'm sure, as I always say, it's nothing personal. I'm sure Nomiki's a great, nice, wonderful person to be around. I don't know her. I'm sure she's great, but this is just my analysis of the situation and what she's doing.